Hey guys, welcome back to LOI Fan TV. We're back again for a bit of a different video today. So obviously off the back of the Europa Commerce League phase draw last week with Shelbourne and Shamrock Rovers both making the group phase our first time ever to have two Irish teams. We've decided to predict each result. We were waiting for the fixtures and the order of them because you know yourself off seasons. Thursday, Sundays play your factor, and so on. So we were waiting for that. So now we've got everything we need. So we're going to predict each team six results, and we're going to calculate it up, and we're going to see compared to last year's Conference League phase table where that would leave us. So
Yeah.
once again, joined by a very happy Ross McGuire on the back of beating Linfield again.
Yeah, yeah, no, absolutely. No, delighted, Luke, delighted now. I will just a quick one at the start, obviously, just to say that we are putting these up on Spotify now as well. So if you are listening, thank you very much. We're starting to get some decent numbers over there as well. So if you can leave us like a little rating, I think you leave comments as well. So we'll be checking them out to make sure to let us know any thoughts on the draws, and same with YouTube as well. Just drop a like and subscribe, and any comments we'll be looking at in future videos. But yeah, very excited, Luke. The Linfield game went swimmingly. Listen, two goals up early on, and I think it was obviously one of the most complete performances I've seen from Shells in Europe. And I think we touched on will those Carabao games, will those Rijeka games kind of play a factor in Shells. And I think you could see the levels in it. I think we actually benefited from playing those kind of high level sides, and I just think we looked a class or two above Linfield, which was a really positive sign for not just for the rest of our European campaign, but I think for the league. Obviously, good chance to get into. We had a decent weekend of results from Michelle's point of view at the weekend, so a good chance for us to really kind of make a statement for that top three, four finish. So listen, I think yeah, it's been a positive week for Shells, and I'm feeling a lot more confident now heading into the back end of the season.
Yeah, no, it was pretty routine. I think Linfield and Northern Irish football need to have a long hard look at themselves because there's a proper gulf between the Lamb result last year and now Linfield this year. It's almost like the first division to the Premier Division. It's getting to that stage. So yeah, I think Northern Irish football needs to have a bit. I don't know if summer football is the way forward for them, but yeah, I just think what they're doing right now isn't really working. And I think I saw like they're down there. I don't know if this is true now, but it's like one of the lowest leagues in Europe as far as
Probably,
coverage
yeah.
goes, which is I know it's Northern Ireland, but still,
Yeah.
it needs to be a bit better. But
Because
yeah, look,
we
what we're
talked about how much of a difference it might play Linfield having a bit of experience behind them, and playing a few league games and stuff. And
yeah,
God, like for Shells who haven't been great at the back this season, I don't think Linfield really created a chance. So from their point of view, it was a concerning one. I would take like that. That was a big blow to them, obviously. But yeah, Shells standpoint, fantastic.
yeah, 100%. And we'll probably start there. So what we'll do is we'll predict Shelbourne's six results, and then we'll move on to Rovers, and we'll calculate everything at the end. But yeah, first up for Shelbourne, Hacken of Sweden, October 2nd.
Yeah,
Ross, how you feeling? This will probably be in Tala. I think they've
yeah.
confirmed Tala as the venue. So what are you thinking?
Yeah, I think Tala is. I saw on the UEFA app. I think it has Tala down as the venue. So I think without official confirmation, it's more or less confirmed. I think it's probably. I think it was always going to be the case, and I think even for these games as well, you don't mind. We'll get on to Crystal Palace at home, but yeah, that'll be a full house and stuff. Like it's nice to get the bit of gate revenue and stuff like that. So I think it is the right move. Probably obviously it's a shame to leave Talca, especially in these games. It probably would suit us more. But listen, I think yeah, some famous nights in Tala ahead, and I've been doing a little bit digging into each of the sides that Shells and Rovers gonna be facing. So BK Häcken from Sweden, they're actually currently 10th in the league after 22 games. So they're not having a great season at the moment. So um, listen, that's a bit of a plus from Michelle's point of view. They did beat Anderlecht in the Europa League, so listen, they're no schmucks. Like they'll be a decent side. They beat CF4 Cluj, who are Romanian, I think, to secure their place in the Conference League. So this is a tough game, but I feel like it's a one we can get a result from. First night home, it's a big opportunity to get some points on the board.
Yeah, it is indeed. Yeah. Obviously, I was going through each result and thinking in my head, accumulating points and so on. This one, you look on paper, there's an opportunity here for sure. I think back to when we played Your Gardens in our first game in the group phase in 2022, and that was probably our most winnable game. But it could be a bit of an occasion,
Yeah.
a bit shaky, a bit of nerves. I think there'll be a bit of that for Shells. Obviously, Hacken aren't having the best season, but then again, as you said, they beat Anderlecht, so they're no schmucks. I suppose score prediction wise here, I'm probably gonna go. I'll say 1-1.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll say he's get a point.
Yeah.
It'll be a good occasion, but yeah, I think that'd be a good start. Is
Yeah, I think that's obviously thinking the same. I think a draw could be on the cards there. Obviously, yeah, it'd be a big night, and there could be a little bit of nerves at play. So yeah, I'll go for 1-1 as well. Draw. The main thing here is yeah, as I said, win loss or draw. So yeah, I think we'll both go for Shells to get a point. I'll just keep tally of these now as we go through, but both going for a point for Shells on the opening night.
Yeah, no, it'd be a good start. And then suppose next up, Skendia, is that how you pronounce it?
Is that far off? Yeah, I'd say that's pretty good attempt, like.
So, right, you're going to fill me in on these because I don't know much about these lads at all.
Yeah,
Um,
Macedonian side. They beat. They're in the Champions League initially. They beat TNS and they beat FCSB, which is a good win in the Champions League. But they did lose to Karabag 6-1 on aggregate. Obviously similar-ish to Shells. I think Shells was 4-0 on aggregate, so probably similar enough. Much of a muchness between those, but obviously that kind of gives you a little bit of confidence that they lost similar margins, a little bit more of a margin than Shells did to Karabag. You can't read too much into that kind of stuff, but. They did lose to Ludogorets and in their Europa League playoff, which obviously they had their Conference League guaranteed. So, listen, I think this is one where Shells might be able to look at this one and they'll be targeting this one as a potential 3-pointer. You need to kind of target a couple of games like this to get to the mark where you want to qualify for the next round ever. So, I'm gonna go for Shells. 2-1 away win. I'm gonna go for.
Huge. Yeah, they're not the best team, but then again, they're here for a reason, and I just think first away day as well. Regardless of opposition, you just don't know what sort of pitch, standard, weather. It's all a factor.
Yeah.
You always have your away days in Europe. This is different again, the league phase. If I could go for another draw, I'm going to
Yeah.
say it could be a stalemate. I might go 0-0.
No, no. Interesting. Yeah, could be a good shout. Obviously, probably I'd say it's a tough kind of place to go, because they did lose to Ludogorets, but I think they actually beat Ludogorets at home, so they'll be a decent at home, tough place to go. So yeah, a draw could definitely be on the cards. But I'm gonna back Shells to the first win.
The next up then, November 6th. Now I don't know if this is following the end of the league. I'm not too sure.
Mm.
Probably near enough to it. They're playing Drita of Albania. Is that correct, Ross?
I think it's a Kosovo. I have now,
Oh,
but maybe it's
that's
maybe.
a controversial one. I
Yeah,
didn't mean
that's why. That's
that.
why Luke Jennings' face on the fucking dressing room wall for these lads. Like.
I can't go. I'm not going now. I'm not going to saying that. I do you know what it was. I saw it on the League of Ireland page, and this is proper League of Ireland page stuff, isn't it? You can look at it on Twitter.
Yeah.
They had Drita and they had the Albanian flag beside their name.
I'm gonna
That's
double
what
check
it
it
is.
just to be sure. FC
Oh,
Drita.
okay.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
Kosovo. Kosovo, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
Had
God.
the Albanian flag beside their name, and I was rambling. So FAI, the FAI.
That's a big one. That's a big one. Jesus, that's a controversial one now.
Stop. Didn't mean that now, but yeah. Look, this one is I think he's a winning game. I think I'll probably be here. I don't think these fellas be up to much. Obviously, we play bleeding back, not bleeding back. Whatever you call them. What Balakani,
Yeah.
Balakani. All these, all these European games that
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
jumbled. Yeah, Balakani were at home, really kind of, not the best opposition. I know these fellas were champions, but still, there's not much in the difference, is there? So I'm gonna go for a 2-0 Shelbourne win.
Yeah, yeah, I think this would be the big one to target for 3 points. They lost to Copenhagen and FCSB, but then they beat FC Differdange from Luxembourg in the playoffs. So, yeah, you'd be not expecting, but you'd be hopeful that Shells can pick up 3 points. I'll go for 2-1 Shells. I never fancy us to keep a clean sheet too many times, so I'll go 2-1 Shells.
Fair, yeah. So I suppose now we're getting into the kind of winter period of like 3 weeks later, I think it is November 27th, AZ Alkmaar away in the Netherlands. Now, I
Great
think
trip.
this would be a great game, great
Yeah,
occasion to Dundalk in 2016. But I think this game will be tough
mm.
because there is that bit of a gap in between. And it'll probably be Shelbourne's first time encountering this kind of, going into a game necessarily cold. There'll probably be a friendly or two, but I think it'd be tough. And
Yeah,
obviously, Trump Paris leading the line for them. They're a great pedigree, like they're Europa League last year. I think they got into the knockout phase of it. So yeah, these are well seasoned fellas, I must say. So in my head, I'd be shocked if Shelbourne got something from it, but I just can't
yeah.
see it.
Yeah, you're
They're
you're hoping for one of those kind of famous European nights like Dundalk had or whatever, just nick something out there and get a point or something. But it is hard to call. But it's a great game for us to have, and it's a great one for the fans to go and enjoy. Obviously, a great spot for an away day, and it'll be a fantastic night. But it does seem like a little bit of a stretch too far. Probably they've had a good start to the season as well. You'd expect them to be kind of challenging in that top three, four in the Netherlands or whatever. So, yeah, I think we'll give decent account of ourselves, but I'll go Alkmaar 2-0, I think.
Yeah, 3-1 Alkmaar from my end. Yeah, I think that's not too much for Shells. But look,
Yeah.
if based off what we're saying, yeah, it still will be a good start to 4 games for Shells. They've only lost 1 game.
Yeah.
So yeah, I suppose I'm moving on to the next one 2 weeks later in December 11th, Crystal Palace at home. Yeah, that's a big one. Um, yeah, I saw it. Now listen, I got a laugh from it. I'm not gonna lie. I saw Sam Bowen tweeted. It was like, "Where you going, babe?" Quoting his missus, and she was like, "Oh, I was going to the gym, preparing to face Mateta."
From
I, I
Mercy.
got a, I got a good laugh after
Yeah.
saying, "No, no, 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 we're not here to take part." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like,
Very bold from Sam Bone to assume he's starting as well.
I thought you were talking about Mateta there, but I was like, "No, you're right." Yeah, 100%, 100%. Yeah, this
This
is
could
gonna
be a
be a
great
tough one. I don't
occasion.
know what version of Palace will turn up, but you have to imagine any sort of version is, too much for
Yeah.
Chelsea. But it'll be a great occasion.
100%. And I think obviously he's had Chelsea in the last game, so you're like obviously you're never really realistically going to get anything from a Premier League side. It's just you're playing this. It's a great game to get like, and you're delighted to get them. But obviously Chelsea's a little bit more of a higher profile than Palace, or whatever. But it's still a fantastic fixture to have and one to look forward to. Obviously, Tala be sold out, it'll be a great occasion, and maybe 5 games in, you're looking at Palace. Don't know if there's much squad depth as a Chelsea. Maybe they're dropping a few. They're resting a few that might be already true or whatever. They're looking at it. Premier League games stacking up in bits and pieces, and they don't have great strength and depth really. So maybe if they rotate a bit, they won't be as strong. But listen, you'd imagine that they'll still have too much for Shells. But I'm very looking forward to this game so much. Probably the pick of the bunch. That and Alkmaar are the pick of the bunch. But I think Palace. Just I have a mate that supports Palace as well, Ty, from who's been on the channel a few times before as well, Palace fan. So it'll be great occasion. Plenty of Londoners over. Uh, I do expect Palace to win. I don't think it'd be like a massive margin in it, like the Chelsea Rovers game last season. What was a 5-1 in the end? I think it might be a little bit more narrow, but I expect Palace to do the business. I'll go for 3-1 Palace.
Yeah, I think just the fact that this is Palace, I think it's his first European campaign
Yeah.
ever, is it? So it's still a bit of an occasion. I think they'll want to top. They'll want to probably they'll be near enough to the top at this point, and they'll want to win here. So I think they'll go reasonably strength. Yeah,
They have
look,
tough games, Palace as well. They have a couple of toughies in their draw, so they might drop a couple of points along the
they
way. So
might
they
they might
might,
need to win here.
yeah,
Yeah, they might need to win here, and yeah, I just think because it'd be different if they were like kind of like it was like an Aston Villa or someone like that, kind of in Europe more times than not. They can kind of take Shells for granted a bit, but I just don't really see them taking Shells for granted. So I can see them turning up in a reasonable fashion. So if I go 4-1 Palace, I just think they'll there'll be a few Prem boys playing, and yeah, the quality will show. But still, a good return from Shelbourne. I suppose on to the last game now. Now, team I know a bit about
yeah,
Selji.
yeah.
Albert Riera's Selji. You're traveling over. He is a
You
prick.
have
That
these as
fella.
well, don't you?
Yeah, we have them at home.
Yeah.
We have
We'll
them
come
at
on to
home in the
that.
second game. But this fella is a donut. Like he is something like. So I was gonna say like about Crystal Palace not underestimating is this fella will be underestimating is like I'm sure of it.
Do you think he's learned his lesson though?
I don't think so. I
No.
don't think so. I don't think he doesn't strike me as the type of fella. I don't think he shook hands with Bradley after the game as well. Like he's just a bit of a plonker. Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, look, these are a
They, they,
decent
they
outfit.
made the quarterfinals of it last year, and he narrowly lost to Fiorentina in the quarterfinal last year.
Yeah, listen, that was a
In the
great
final.
result. They were fortunate how they got there. To be fair
Yeah,
to them, they got a nice run. But still, this will be a tough game. I'm gonna go for Shells to draw this. I just think the last game, I think they probably have already secured a playoff spot. I think Shells might go here needing to get something.
yeah,
They might just see them over a line. I just think it'd be the perfect storm for Shells to get something off them now. It's an absolute dire pitch. It's it's
yeah.
it's like it's like a local park after a heap of rain, and
Did they beat yous at home last year
no,
in the
they
home
beat
leg?
us 1-0 away. It was 1-0. They beat us with 1 goal away, and we brought it back to Tala and we beat them 3-1.
So yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, he's lost in Slovenia or whatever.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. So yeah, look, I think a draw here would be a good result for Shells, and yeah, we'll see. What do you
yeah,
think?
yeah. I'll go draw as well. Maybe 1-1. Um, which will hopefully see us over the line. We'll tally up the points at the end of when we've gone through Rovers as well. But hopefully a point out there will be enough.
Yeah, fair. That's fair. Yeah, so I suppose then moving on to the other half Of the Irish sides in the group phase, Shamrock Rovers obviously it's their third season of the last four being in the group stages. So look, a few lads making 50 appearances there on off the back of the second leg draw against Santa Clara, a great result. So yeah, look, we're well versed kind of in this environment now. We
Yeah.
got the heart of the draw. There's no two ways about it. We
Yeah,
really.
yeah, definitely, yeah.
Like I was only like looking at your when we were going through there, thinking to myself, if I was a Rovers fan, getting what you've got, I'd be like, we could make a little push for top eight potentially,
Yeah.
because like you'd fancy us against those smaller teams, like because we've just more experience. But yeah, here's a tough draw. We three really high level teams, then three lads that we should be beaten, could be beaten, but also each has a little storyline too, so you never know. But
Yeah.
yeah, on October 2nd, we're away in Prague to Sparta Prague.
Yeah.
Um, Now these boys, we played them last year. They knocked us out, and yeah, I think they beat us 2-0 in Tala, and then 2-1. It was no, it wasn't. Aaron Green scored twice out there. I can't remember the scoreline out there. Aaron Green
4-2
scored
maybe or
twice.
something or
Yeah,
something.
they scored a heap of set pieces.
Yeah.
But I was doing a bit of research on them, and their star centre half Martin Vitic went to Bologna for 11 million, so
Well,
they've lost him. Now they have a few very good players, like their goalkeeper Jensen. I remember when Joe Hart retired, Celtic wanted him to be their number one, and they've one or two really good players. Yeah, they've some really good players. So I think this will be a tough one. But out of the three games against high level opposition, I really think that this could be a game where we could potentially nick something. And I'm just I know you're laughing, but when we talk AEK Athens and Shakhtar Donetsk, I'll be fair. But I just think the fact that we played them before, I think we went out there and we had a tight game with them. We were undone by a lot of set pieces. I think Bradley kind of has a really good record when it coming up against them for a second time. And I think looking at kind of our run there, like our two most winnable games are the last two games. So we're
yeah.
gonna have to get some points from somewhere. So yeah, I think I'm gonna be really optimistic with this one. I'm gonna go with a 1-1 draw. Similar enough to the Rapid Vienna for result last year.
Yeah, yeah. Now listen, I think it'll be tight. I just think they'll be a little bit too strong for you. I think
Yeah, I agree.
they're a good side, and it's a tough. Yeah, you have a tough out draw here now. To be honest, like obviously a couple of winnable games, and towards the end, you don't want to have like loads of pressure on you for the last two games either.
No,
You know, it's not ideal.
you
Having
don't
to
want to be in.
lose
You have
them.
to get maximum points from the last two games. You don't want that. So
No,
yeah,
because
we
Europe is
get
tough.
an
Like
unexpected point or two somewhere.
yeah, yeah, and teams be looking at Rovers. The teams maybe the last two be looking at Rovers, and potentially a point here and there might nick them the top 24 or whatever. So it will be tight. You don't want to leave it down to the last day or whatever, ideally. But yeah, I just think Sparta Prague would be a little bit too much. I think it'd be tight. Yeah, I think you'll give a good account to yourselves, but I think they'll have a little bit too much for you. I'll go 2-1 Sparta Prague. It'd be a tough game, but I think they just have a little bit too much quality.
Very fair. Yeah. Look, if there was an easier draw, an easier team other than the three hard teams, I probably would have given us the loss there as well. I'm just looking at the other boys. I'm like, right, we need to
Yeah.
draw against one of them. Who are we drawing against?
Yeah, you
And
have to get nick a point somewhere. Like yeah, yeah,
yeah. So yeah, look, next up then on October 23rd, we have Celje at home. Now look, we played these boys before. We bet them 3-1 in Tala after extra time.
yeah.
They're all right. I was looking at their business like transfer wise since that quarter final. Like they signed kind of one lad for 100 grand, another lad for 180 grand. And then they've lost two or three lads as well. So I'd say they're reasonably where they were at when we played them
Probably,
before.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, first home game in Tala, we pack it out. Obviously Bradley and Riera have a bit in needle too, so that'd be an interesting angle. But yeah, if it was away from home, I'd probably be leaning towards the draw here. But it's the fact we have them in Tala, I think we could beat them.
yeah.
So I'm gonna go 2-0 Shamrock Rovers.
Yeah, fair. I just think this might be a little bit of a banana skin just based off the previous. Like I think these be well up for it. Like this will be a massive game for them, and Riera will be have these raring to go, and there might be that little bit of needle to it and a bit of an edge. And Rovers are experienced in Europe, and they can get up the line and they can have some, especially their home form is very very good in Europe as well.
You got to remember though, we've had to beaten a Portuguese team over two
I
legs. So
know, I
I want
know.
some respect here now.
Jeez,
Come on.
like yeah, I think like that Portuguese side, Jesus, stick them in UCFL, they're not putting up too many trees, I don't think so. Like,
Beat Linfield over four legs and you have this. You go out. Oh my god.
no, I do. I know Robert's a fantastic result to get over the line. Ed McGinty with a fantastic save there as well. To be fair,
Yeah, yeah.
a great night and great win, and it's a massive statement to where Irish football's going to get past the Portuguese team, whatever. But just think this will be a tough game. I think it might be like a draw. I'm thinking 1-1. I think it might just be a tough one, and just like a little bit. There's just so much edge and needle to it, and a little bit of pressure for Rovers sandwiched in between these really tough games. To be a lot of pressure on them to win. I just think it might be a little bit tough for them, and Celje won't be turning up expecting to roll you over this time. I think it'd be a little bit different. So I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw.
Are you really going to do this now where we finish outside the playoffs and you get play? Is this
I'm
where this is
not. I
going?
haven't tallied up any scores yet. I haven't done anything like this.
I can feel it going that direction. We finish 30 seconds and use our 17th. That's where this is going. Something
Listen,
else.
it's the way the cookie crumbles. It's the way the cookie crumbles, you know.
Stop Talca Park. Remember, I'm going to come back to that. Talca Park, the best stadium in the league, and these are in Tala for the group phase.
Ah, give
I
over, give
remember.
over, give
I
over.
remember. You know what I mean? Anyways, so that's besides the point.
Yeah, that's a factor for Shells, to be fair. You're playing in that dead stadium as well. So it's
That's true. You need to get rid of some of your results, some of your mad results. Like fucking giving Crystal Palace a game. Relax.
I'll be very fair. I'm looking at this from a completely unbiased standpoint. The
Young boys
complete
going
straight.
out to Macedonia and winning.
Easy place to go.
All right, we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, look, next up then, November 6th, we've AAK Athens
Hmm.
away. Now, I'm probably going to try to go over to this one. I just think it'd be a great away day and
Class,
so on.
yeah.
I was looking at their team, and it's a bit of a mad team. Like, you have players that are like a little to no pedigree, and then you look at their two strikers. They have Luka Jovic, he's played for Real
Oh
Madrid, and
my
Anthony
God.
Martial. So
Oh my God. Yeah,
when I
Jesus.
saw those two boys, I said, right, we're not
Yeah,
getting anything here.
it's a tough one. They beat
Well,
Anderlecht in the playoff as well, so they're a good side. Like,
they're proper order. Now, I don't think we're going to go out here and get Barrett. I think it'd be somewhat competitive, but I just don't
yeah.
see us getting anything from this. Unfortunately, now I hope to be proven wrong because I'm probably going to be there. So I'll
Yeah.
have deluded myself up between now and then. But
Rovers make it difficult. Like, there's very few teams that will roll over Rovers like in Europe
yeah,
in this competition. From all the teams in this competition, there's very few you'd
yeah,
see that would make a show of Rovers. Like Chelsea
it,
last year was an
yeah,
anomaly. They shouldn't be in that Conference League. Like,
yeah, yeah. They shouldn't have been. If this was in Tala, I give us half a chance. Just the fact that we're over in Greece, I say it'd
yeah,
be warm. They've a good team. They're good players. I'm probably going to go. I'll go 3-1 AEK Athens.
yeah. I'll go,
We'll
I'll
see
go
what that's
two
too much.
nil,
I'd say
two
it'd be
nil.
2-1. We'll probably try push for an equaliser and pick us off.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, so yeah, then I suppose. So sorry, what did you go for, Ross?
I'll go 2-0 Athens. Yeah, 2-0
2-0
even.
Athens. Fair game. Fair game. Yes, I suppose then the league phase is out. Sorry, Electricity League is done. 3 weeks later, November 27th, Shakhtar Donetsk at home. Now, I've had one or two Rovers fans saying, I fancy them. I fancy them at home. I went on transfer market and I had to look at their business. Now, I know they're selling your man Kevin to Fulham
Hold
for
on.
like, what,
Yeah,
35 million or something.
yeah.
He's a good player, but they've had to sign three players this summer, all from the Brazilian league. They're all like between the ages of like 19 and 21, and they're all for
They will
10
be
million
class.
euro
Yeah, yeah.
apiece. You
They'll
know,
be they'll
so
be sold on like 2 years time for like 50, 60 or something like.
yeah, they're ballers. And you go through their team, their captain has like 70 caps for Ukraine.
Yeah.
Like
Does
they
Fernandinho play for them? Is he still fit?
Ronaldinho.
Fernand.
Ronaldinho playing for them. I think so.
Dude, that'd be something else. Rocking up in Tala. No, Fernandinho. I think is
Yeah,
he still, I
Fernandinho played for him, and yeah, I think so. Yeah,
think he still
he
might
did.
do. Yeah, he must be 40 odd though at this stage. Like, but still obviously pedigree. Like,
Yeah, no, yeah. So look, these lads are these lads are proper order. Like they're we talk about Champions League teams. These lads should be like what they beat Besiktas, didn't they?
yeah, yeah. Which tells you
Or
in this
Pats
game.
played them.
Yeah,
And Besiktas battered Pats. I know they got their two goals out there, but the tie was done by then.
yeah,
But yeah, here I'm gonna go 2-0 Shakhtar Donetsk. I just think they're just a cut above, unfortunately.
yeah. To beat Servette in the playoff, I think Swiss side as well. So no, they're a good side. And yeah, I'll go 3-1 Shakhtar. I'll give you a goal. 3-1 Shakhtar. Not looking good.
So well, it's looking all right on mine. I've 4 points there, and I've gone to the two winnable games. You know what I mean? I'm all right. Don't be worrying. Don't be worrying.
Delusions
You
of
will have got
grandeur.
battered off AZ Alkmaar that night, so we'll both be miserable.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. So next up then, December 11th, we're playing. Oh, bleeding back. Whatever you pronounce, I don't care. I don't even want to say their name. I'm still salty over them knocking us out of the Champions League 2 years ago. I'm still salty over. So this is this is the bit will be between Bradley's teeth on this one
Yeah,
because it was the worst I've ever seen us play. With Sean Cavan and Ronan Finn at wing back, the game
yeah,
was none, and we just I don't know, it was just shocking. It was really poor. Um, yeah, I looked at the transfer market. These fellas haven't re-signed anyone. Like they're still kind of what they were, if not a little bit worse. I thought they won the league last year, but they haven't really strengthened. Yeah, we owe these fellas one big
yeah.
time.
Yeah.
And I think Bradley bang up for this. And then one alluding to when I said Prague and Bradley playing some for a second time, I really think this time he'll want to get this one back because this
Yeah.
is probably the worst one on his record of managing Rovers. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we went out here and put a show on. Like I'm gonna go 3-1 Shamrock Rovers. I think we're gonna go out here gunning for these
Yeah.
fellas.
Yeah.
I reckon.
It's a tough place to go, Iceland, though. It's not a nice away day, isn't it? Not like it is a tough away day. Like it's not conditions are grim out there. Like and it will be tough. It was a Viking you played last year and beat, wasn't it? Like
Viking we 2-0 all with them away, and then we
yeah.
we
It's
we
just not a nice away game, isn't it? Not, but
no.
I do think you'll have enough. I'm not. We're filming some deadline day. I don't think Conahan's going anywhere, is he?
No, I was at the game last night. He got taken off. He wasn't acting like he was going anywhere. And even if he is, I'd say he wouldn't be going anywhere until January. So
Yeah.
he'll be there for these games.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think you'll need to go here and win. He's lost 8-1 to Lech Poznan in the Europa League and stuff. So I do think you'll have I think it'll be a tight game. I think it will be genuinely very, very difficult because it's not a nice place to go and they'll probably be battling for the few points there and as well. But I'll go for you to narrowly, narrowly beat them. I'll go 1-0 Rovers.
1-0. Yeah, I had written 1-0 as well. Well, I got very passionate when I was talking about them. So I said,
Yeah.
we'll a few more.
Add a couple on there. Add a couple on.
Oh, for the goal difference, go on.
Yeah, yeah,
The goal
yeah.
scored. We'll
You need
throw
to
a
pull
few
the goal
more on.
difference back. I need to pull the goal difference back.
Oh. So yeah, last one. Ham run of Malta, isn't it? Malta?
Yeah, yeah,
So these boys were touted as being like the smallest, like kind of the best team to get in the Conference League.
yeah,
Um, so I haven't even done much research on them. I'm doing an Alberto Riera on this one, and I'm completely underestimating them.
yeah,
But don't worry, Bradley will do all that stuff, so we're
yeah,
grand. But I think we'll beat these. I think we'll be grand away against these fellas. They're just happy to be here, kind of like a Larn sort of team.
yeah.
Let's say we beat them 3-0. What do you reckon?
Yeah, they had a kind of similar enough run to Shells in terms of the Champions route, and I think they won their first game in the Champions League against Zalgiris of maybe is that Latvia maybe or something like that. But they won their first game anyway, and then they lost the following two, and then they beat RFS in the playoffs, who are Latvian as well, I think. So, yeah, like they didn't pull up any like massive surprises in on their route to the group phase. So you'd imagine the Rovers should be winning this. I'm kind of picturing a similar kind of game to the Balkany one here, maybe like you might be able to stock up a few goals and pull the goal difference back a little bit. I'll go 3-0 Rovers.
Very good. Very good. So go on, Ross. Do the maths.
What did you give? What was your score line there? Sorry, out of
I went
interest.
3-0 as well.
3-0 as well. Grant. So we'll look at Shells first. I've given Shells 8 points. You've given Shells 6 points. And Rovers, you've given Rovers 10 points.
Yeah, it's 10, 3 wins and a draw.
And I've given Rovers 7 points. So much of a muchness. I think last season, looking at it last season, I think four teams went through on 7 points, and Rovers just missed out on the top eight with 11 points, I believe, on goal difference.
Yeah.
But 7 points is kind of the magic mark you're probably looking at to get it. So, we both have Rovers get hitting seven at least. I've Rovers hitting seven, you've Rovers hitting 10. And for Shells, you've Shells hitting six, which would probably knock them out. And I've Shells hitting 8 points. So small margins.
Small marriage. Listen, there's few things I'm sure of in this life, but the one thing I'm sure of is shells do not get 8 points. Like, oh my god. Oh, I
I,
hope so. It'd be great.
I
But
think Shells are more likely to get 8 points than Rovers are to get 10 points.
okay, that's fair. That is it fair? I think
Sparta
Rovers.
Prague,
Well,
Sparta
I
Prague
think
away is dreaming.
it is dreaming. It is dreaming. But look, I'm allowed to dream. You just beat a Portuguese team over two. How many times have to say we're about to win? Oh,
But
I'm
we're the
pissed
champions. We're the
again.
champions. So like you have that champion mentality coming into it. Obviously, you won the league last
Yeah,
season.
champions at the top, bottom half. Whatever.
With 2 games
Damien
in
Duff.
hand. With two
Where's
games in
he?
hand.
Where Damien Duff Shelbourne?
Damien Duff Shelbourne's magic,
Pull it
wasn't
up
it?
at the edit.
Damien Duff Shelbourne's magic. Yeah, yeah. I think Joey O'Brien said he's going to go for a pint with Damien to celebrate getting through and stuff. So, no, listen. But hopefully both sides can make it through. We've got differing thoughts on it. Maybe 7 points it would be is it kind of the target for both sides. You feel at least to hit. Definitely from a shell standpoint, I think Rovers' draw is tough. Like compared to last season, it's definitely tough. You've got definitely a couple of winnable games, but um, a lot of tough ones in there as well. And yeah, it's gonna be interesting viewing for sure.
Yeah, the bread and butter for Rovers will be to win the games they're supposed to win.
Yeah,
That's it. And unfortunately, the two of those games come at the come at the end. So that's why, yeah, you probably need to get a surprise point or two just to relieve the pressure a little bit. But yeah, look, my opinion from Michelle's perspective, I know what you're saying about playoffs and stuff, but I just think getting to this stage for them is huge.
yeah,
Regardless of getting top 24 or not, I think that getting to the stage will be, it'll be a huge learning curve for them, and it's tough. Like in 2022 when we got there for the first time, like in ages, like we were, a bit not out of our depth, but it was such a learning curve. So
yeah.
it'd be great to see Shells and Rovers both do. It'd be great for the coefficient, but yeah, well, only time will tell, I suppose.
That's it. Yeah, yeah. Interesting one. But would you swap Rovers' draw for Shels' draw?
100%.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
100%. If I was doing, I'd probably give Rovers like 12, 13 points I'm not even messing. Like, I give us
Maximum
the four
points.
wins. I give us the four wins, and then I'd be angling the Alkmaar draw against
Yeah,
Dundalk.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
I'm angling for that a little bit. I think Troy Parrott could get locked up by Paddy Barrett a little bit, and then maybe Mateta Sambone, that little debacle.
I think Paddy Barrett be locked up in the red light district. I'll be surprised he makes the game.
Perfect way to end it, I think. Jesus Christ.
That's it. That's it.
Magic.
That's it, guys. Well, look, let us know your comments and
Oh,
thoughts in the
fantastic stuff.
comments. Yeah, look, let's try to get this to 30 likes. Actually, no, we'll go higher. We'll go 40 likes.
Let's
There's
go.
a lot of time between now and the first
Yeah.
game of the Conference League. So yeah, look, let us know what you think points wise. What do you think Rovers will get? What will Shells get? Who's right? Who's wrong? But I'm still laughing over that Paddy Barrett.
Yes, magic, magic.
Right, lads, we'll leave it there. But Ross, thanks very much.
Nice one, Luke. Thanks, million. Thanks, guys.